So, let me take you back a few weeks. The moment when I first felt the weight of all my wedding plans crashing down around me. My name is Lily, and I've been dreaming about my wedding day since I was a little girl, envisioning every detail, from the flowers to the cake to, of course, the people who would share in our joy. This summer was supposed to be everything I had always imagined. You see, I have this friend Jessica who has been my rock throughout this whole journey. We've known each other since high school, sharing laughter and tears through every twist and turn of life. She even helped me decide on my wedding dress, her eyes sparkling with excitement as I twirled around, feeling like a princess. She's been busy with her studies. She's in her final year of college, so I wanted to make sure that her schedule would not interfere with my special day. I came to her first with my wedding plans, asking about her graduation date before we set anything in stone. In all honesty, I was a bit envious of her accomplishments. While I was planning this big event in my life, she was about to graduate, one step closer to her dreams. But I thought that was just part of supporting each other, celebrating our successes together while sharing our milestones. After I confirmed that her ceremony would be over by early afternoon, we set our wedding date. Friends, family, and even our beloved cat Ellie were included in the celebrations that I had envisioned. Everything was in place, and I started counting down the days. Then, just last week, I got a random PDF document from Jessica. The moment I saw it come through my phone, a knot formed in my stomach. There was a crying emoji next to her message, which I could have done without. My heart sank. I opened it, and there it was. The dreadful announcement that the graduation ceremony would take place on the very same date as my wedding. I mean, how could this happen? What were the chances? My emotions were all over the place. On one hand, I understood that it wasn't her fault. This was a university decision. But on the other hand, the sheer reality of it washed over me like cold water. A quarter of our guests, people who we both knew would be close friends, would be put in the impossible position to choose between celebrating Jessica's achievements and witnessing our vows. It's not that I wanted her to feel responsible, but as I read through the details, the frustration simmered beneath the surface. I desperately wanted to have a conversation with her, but I didn't know how to approach it without sounding selfish or demanding. I proposed that she should reach out to the graduation organizers to see if there was anything that could be done. It was important to me that, at the very least, she tried. To my surprise, she hesitated, saying, "Everyone is okay with the date. No one has said they can't make it." It hit me then that she might not grasp the importance of this situation to me. I could feel my heart aching, tugging at the memories of our countless late-night talks about supporting each other through thick and thin. My partner, Mark, could see the turmoil on my face. He suggested that if possible, we could move the wedding date. But I was torn, because this was not just about me. It was about Jessica, too. It was her moment. As the hours passed that day, I found myself second-guessing everything. We had set our date with such excitement, and now it felt like everything was just slipping away. The thought of asking Jessica outright if she'd contacted the university haunted me, but I don't want to come off as the bad guy here. The day hung heavy with uncertainty. I thought of all my other friends who would be showing up to our wedding, grinning and applauding as we took our vows, and I thought about Jessica standing there with her cap and gown, looking radiant. What would they choose? Later at home, as I sat with Mark on our couch staring into space, I decided I'd have to talk to Jessica, even if it meant putting myself in a vulnerable position. Opening up about how her indifference felt like a punch to the gut, despite knowing she didn't mean to hurt me, was terrifying. The flood of emotions I anticipated made my stomach churn. Finally, the next day came. I took a deep breath and sent a message to Jessica, asking if she'd tried reaching out about the date conflict. I waited, and when she replied, it was that old familiar feeling mixed with an underlying anxiety. She said no. And then it came. I confronted her about it, unable to conceal the distress in my voice. "Jessica, I can't help but feel hurt. I really wanted you to make that effort." I watched her face change, and I saw understanding flicker in her eyes. But it hurt to see my best friend struggle to understand how deep this went for me. She apologized profusely, and I heard the sincerity in her voice, but I couldn't shake the feeling of disappointment. It left me questioning our friendship. Did she even care enough about me and this special moment? Would I be an awful friend if I allowed myself to feel hurt about this? So my question to you all is, Ada for being upset with my friend who doesn't even try? Was I wrong to confront her about my feelings? I invite you all to share your thoughts. What would you have done in my shoes? Would you confront her, or would you have chosen to step back and take it all in stride? Your insights would mean the world to me as I navigate through this emotional maze. Thank you for listening.